And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. Hope everyone is going all well and okay today. Yeah, let me hike that up. Yeah, hope everyone is going all well and okay today. Good night to all of you joining us via the various mediums. Those of you joining us via 91.9, 91.5 Real FM. Those of you joining us via We Noise Radio. Of course, the multitudes of you that join us via Facebook and YouTube. And those of you that join us via our own page, yeah. Let me say it from the outset, I ain't full 100. It's been one of those days. But by God's blessings, we are here. Nearly had to cancel the program for tonight, change my mind. And in a short while, we will open the phone lines. In a short while, I didn't say we open it yet. I say in a short while, we'll open the phone lines. It is the first anniversary of Hurricane Beryl. And I want to give some of you on mainland, but in particularly those of you in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, the opportunity to call in. Huh? I know some folks are afraid to call in because they know they have the little materials they're hoping that they get. They have the little, they're hoping they can get some of this stuff, yeah? Some folks are afraid, they will tell me things, but they're afraid to put their voice out there and to call and say certain things because they know the amount of victimization that is going on and continues with the present administration. Huh? It's kind of a little boy thing like, you're playing marbles and they might not understand marbles. But you're playing cricket and it's your bat and you're out and you just take your bat and go home. That kind of behavior, that kind of attitude, yeah? We all knew someone like that when we were growing up, isn't it? Nah, not me. I used to leave the bat and go. Yeah. And if I really had to go around that I finish in my game, I will get batter again. Venezuela is in tonight. St. Lucia is in tonight. Well, who in Nigeria listening? Nigeria is in tonight. Yeah, the UK is in tonight. I see Huddersfield, I see London proper, yeah? So good night to all of you joining us from the various destinations. Those of you in North America, see various parts of Canada are on with us. Also, we see various people out there in Texas, yeah? Quite a few people in Texas are on with us tonight. We say a special good night to my Texas family, my North Carolina family, my Maryland family, New York, good night. Whichever part on you're in Long Island or Brooklyn or the Bronx, yeah? Say a special good night to each and every one of you. Yeah, as I say, I ain't full 100 tonight, man, yeah. I had a day that drained me physically, eh? When I say drain, I'm dehydrated and all, yeah. Really drained me. I had to scrape myself up to come and do the program tonight, yeah, because I know you all were looking forward to it. I had to make sure that I do the program tonight. If you all see I ain't make it for the full 2 hours, please abide with me. Understand what's going on. And also, folks, remember, those of you that wish to donate, you have the option of donating under the YouTube Live. There's the option there where you can click on there and you can donate. There's also the option to go to the GoToFet link and you can donate there as well. Huh? Yeah, you can donate both ways. Remember, we need at least 10 donations to come in, not in one night, but in the week. We need at least 10 donations to come in. Even if it's 10 donations or $5, we don't mind 10 donations to come in so that we can accommodate the Friday program and possibly the Sunday program as well. So whether it's $5 that you can, if you can give more, but if it's 5, and we see 10 people, now sometimes we have as much as 1,000 plus people on. So we're just asking for 10 people over the next few days, not 10 every night, 10 people in total, we will do the program, Jacket man! Jacket man, they feel like they tie you up. What kind of thing they try to pull there? See that? What they try to pull? That's the jacket man. They had to wheel and come again. Good night to you, Camille, Teresa, Scott. Hope that you had a fabulous day today. Mr. and Mrs. Maureen Macphail, good night to you. Mr. and Mrs. Cruikshank, good night. So Martin and your lovely wife out there in Housing Scheme, good night to both of you. Richie, good night, brother. Mommy George, good night to you. And let me say a very special good night to the men and women of the Royal Grenada Police Force. No matter which branch you serve in, we say a special good night to each and every one of you. You know, it was interesting. I think I'll play that at 8:30. That's something I want to play, but I feel I'll play it at 8:30. I ain't find. Let me see if enough for all your day. I ain't find enough for all your day yet, man. Yeah. Call somebody, tell somebody. And folks, you all have to call tonight, you all are the ones that carry the program. You know, when I ain't feeling well, sometimes you all have to carry the program. So you all have to call tonight, It's when you realize at this point in time, 1 year ago, our brothers and sisters in Carriacou were in very, very dire straits. In fact, I remember it would have been just a little earlier than this that the Grenada Electricity Company turned back on electricity in the south of the island. Somewhere around 7 o'clock or so, they turned back on. They did their assessment in my area, and they turned the electricity back on. They had taken it off as a precaution. But while that was happening, throughout everything, here I was trying to contact my family and my friends in Carriacou, and no calls were going through. The last time I was able to speak to anyone was roughly around 10 o'clock, I believe, 9, 10, somewhere around there. In the morning is when I was able to speak to anybody in Carriacou. And at that time, things started to deteriorate. And we all know what took place after that. Into the night, into the evening, the situations that the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique found themselves in due to no doing of their own 1 year ago. And even afterwards, 1 year to the future. Now, let me just clarify here. No one is saying, let me repeat, because I'm sure none of you are saying it. No one is saying that the government of Grenada has to build back everybody's house in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that the government of Grenada has to give everybody building material and so on in Carriacou. No one is saying that. We are saying that there are people like the mother who tonight is listening to this program off of her mobile inside of a tent with a differently abled child, and she is in the tent tonight, 1 year later, listening to this program. While there are people who never had a house, they was renting, they was staying with mommy and daddy, and they got full house. All good for them. But we're saying that there should have been priority. They should have prioritized these sorts of people. The mother who is in the tent right now and has the 4 children. So she has 2 inside the tent with her and 2 in a kind of bang-up thing. And again, ask yourself, what is the situation with these individuals, these young ladies, when they have to shower, when they have to use the bathroom, when their children have to shower, when their children have to use the bathroom. We are saying that such situations, before you went and looked for your supporters and make sure that some of them who you could have given them materials to simply fix their roof so that they could have moved back into their home, instead of that, you gave them a brand new house right next to the one that need the roof, and now they're just fixing up the other one. So they've got 2. Meanwhile, you've got people sleeping in tents. While the people of Petit Martinique, you heard since January, February, you heard them talking about, oh, we have X amount of houses under construction in Petit Martinique. And I don't know if they handed over yesterday or today. Maybe I've been out of touch. But as far as I know, not a single house has been handed over to anybody on the island of Petit Martinique thus far. 1 year later. And there's no excuse for that. You had prefabricated houses. You take all, you put them in Dumfries. You got a second cohort of houses donated. You take those, you put them in Dumfries. Meanwhile, the people of Petit Martinique, you have many of them still living in tents. Maybe they feel people in Petit Martinique have a lot of money. Maybe they feel that these people bank account heavy. So forget them, man. That is probably what they're thinking. Or it can be that they are punishing these people because in the last election, the current MP did not win that polling division. He did not win the island of Petit Martinique. They stood steadfastly with the house of the new National Party. And maybe that is a great sin that they have committed, that up to this point in time, you now hear them talking about we go in and do the roof on the health center. Like if healthcare is not a major, serious, important concern of the people of Petit Martinique. Again, we are not saying that all of the houses could have been rebuilt by now. But this government had a head start. That the new National Party administration after Hurricane Ivan, where you had some 87% of the housing on the mainland destroyed or seriously damaged. When you had that happening in 2004, the new National Party administration had no CRIF money because CRIF did not exist until Hurricane Ivan caused CRIF to exist. CRIF was created in 2007, Hurricane Ivan hit in 2004. And CRIF was directly because of what they saw happen to the island of Grenada and other islands affected by Hurricane Ivan. And the idea of an insurance for hurricanes and natural disasters came about. And Grenada, contrary to what you hear from the individuals in office now, Grenada was one of the first signatories, first people to get on board with the CRIF. And they tried to give you the impression that Grenada wasn't paying. Absolute nonsense. But all of that is water under the bridge, because how does that matter to the mother who is tonight hoping that rain don't fall? Because then everything in the house going and soak and you're having a couple inches of water inside the house. How does that help the person that's still sleeping under a tent 1 year after Hurricane Beryl? $118 million. And from what we hear, again, it went into the pockets of the friends and associates of those in office at this point in time. They went and they find them where they find them and give them contract. Go up in Carriacou, clean up that area and I will give you a piece of money. Don't forget, you have to drop back a piece. But you'll get a contract. Go in Carriacou and you're going to do this contract. That happened. Yeah? So people ask, where the 118 million gone? It gone in their pockets. The people who got the contract to move the garbage from one playing field to another playing field, back to another playing field, when they could have moved it to the main area that it had to be collected in the first place, so that all of it could have been dealt with there. But move it from one playing field to another playing field, and then move it from there to another playing field to down by down. all sorts of nonsense. But each time that is being done, the bill running. So you realize at the end of it that their friends who got the contracts to do different things are the ones who benefited. And the monies that could have been used for rebuilding were instead used to pad the pockets of the supporters of the National Democratic Congress. I'm saying it because you all in Carriacou and in Petit Martinique know it's true. The monies that could have gone into housing, the monies that could have gone into fixing back the health center in Petit Martinique or the jetty in Windward, that could have improved the standard of living of the people on the island of Petit Martinique. Instead of that, they make sure they pump as much money as possible into the pockets of their friends. But take a group of people, give you a contract to clean up that area, they just get one or two fellas and thing and go up. That's the sort of thing that took place. And now they're talking about, well, the CRIF money and the CRIF money and the CRIF money. The CRIF money only existed because of the New National Party. Had nothing to do with you all. It only existed because of the New National Party, not the NDC. That's a fact. The dates bear it out because you all weren't in office in 2007. You all were not part of the discussions to create the CRIF in the first place. So now we know that at the ending of this month, because this is the first day of July in the year of our Lord 2025, so we now hear that as of the last day of this month, the Burial Relief Support Program will be no more. We've heard so from the Minister of Finance. We've heard so from the Minister of Housing, that as of the final day of this month, the Burial Support Program will be no more. Where does that leave those mothers in tents? Where does that leave the elderly who are in tents right now? Where does that leave them? Are they going to be left to fend on their own while individuals who are in need, but if you are doing things fairly, they are not as much as in need as the others, are they going to have to fend for themselves? We have a caller online. Go right ahead, caller.
Good night, Sheldon, Scott. The man of the year.
I want a divorce. I want a divorce. I want a divorce. I want a divorce. That's all I say.
Oh, good night to Talking Points family. Hope you're all doing well. Sheldon, right now I'm worried. My brother go and fish and he can't come back yet.
Oh Lord.
And this explosion will take place on the quarry day this evening there. I'm worried.
Yes,
come back.
I've been hearing about an explosion that took place in that area, and that they kind of trying to keep people away. It's damaged some houses, etc.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's in the quarry that it took place, right?
Yeah, the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the beach there, in the back of telescope. That happened. And over there you go and fish here, so we worried. We try calling the phone, it leave the phone home. So there's no way we could get in contact with him. So everybody worried. So we did.
How long has he been gone?
Since this morning, you know. Since this morning he gone.
So he's just been out himself and how many others?
He and 3 others.
Okay.
Not he alone.
Is there any idea of the area that he went to?
Yeah, that's by the quarry. They go and fish in the backup telescope.
Or they were in the back of the same area that the explosion took place?
Yes.
Also, they didn't went out on a boat. They were fishing on the land.
Yeah, on the land. They don't go out.
Well, let's hope he comes home. I hope right now he just walk in and give you a big hug, and he walk into the house.
Yes.
And so let's hope that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And we'll keep you in our prayers, and we'll hope for the best.
All right.
I heard it was a very big explosion.
Yes, I may head out to Minashell and I didn't gravel today, and I didn't people store, you know. I hear Bodo, I get afraid.
Wow.
No.
No.
I may head out to me.
What I'll do when I'm finished speaking with you, what I'll do is I'll play compliments of the Grenada Broadcasting Corporation, their story in relation to it.
Yeah.
I'll play that.
Okay.
And just protect my wife, eh? Make sure my wife okay. That's all I have to say. Protect my wife. Make sure my wife okay.
Yeah. She did.
Okay.
So you're asking about me too, eh?
I always ask about you. You choose when you want to answer.
As soon as I answer the phone, you want a divorce.
Do have a wonderful remainder of the night, my dear, and give your son a hug for us, and give mommy a kiss for us. All right?
I have some mangoes for you. When you collect it,
Don't worry, we go talk off air on the mango collection. I don't want people like Kathy and them to get jealous when they hear mango, especially those in the US and Canada. Patricia, when they hear mango, that does be trouble. So.
All right, well, have a good night, Sheldon.
Thank you
and
so
keep
very
up
much,
the good
my love. All right, you have a good one. Yes, indeed, folks. And let me say a special good night to my good boy Tito. Tito, what's up, man? Yeah, Tito, give me a buzz when you get a chance, Tito. All right. Oh, tonight is Tuesday night, man. So yeah, Tito could give me a little buzz and thing when he get a chance. And folks, again, I am waiting to hear from the people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique if you're willing to talk. I said, I know the situation, I know the individual that you all are dealing with, and I know the level of, how should I put it, vindictiveness of the individual that you all are dealing with. So many people are afraid to speak out directly. They will contact me and they would say, Sheldon, this is the case. This is what I'm going through. But I could come here and I could call their names. All the people I'm talking about are people I could call their names in and say who they are. But I will not do it because they will be victimized. But I'll tell them something. You may be victimized today, but come election night, you will be vindicated. So all who want to victimize and feel that those roads lead to heaven, you will realize otherwise on election night. You're victimizing now? Okay. They will be vindicated on election night. They will cry tears of joy as they wave you bye-bye. You and your harem of followers who continue to do what you're doing to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon.
Yes,
the
sir.
Government didn't have to build back Petit Martinique Health Center, you know. DCOL gave them more than $200,000 for that project.
No, but to be honest, no. Let's be straight here. To do what needed to be done on Petit Martinique facility would cost much more than $200,000. That would help with the roof or something, but there still had to be doors, windows, painting. Other areas had to be fixed. Then you had to re-equip it. So it's going to cost a pretty penny. But the same money they're finding to bring the Prime Minister whole multitudes behind him when he's traveling, they could have used that on the Petit Martinique Health Center and help the people there, because I'm sure each time they make these moves is 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, 60-something thousand. And if you're speaking the Middle East, you're speaking 100,000 plus.
But what I'm saying, if they get that amount of money, they just have to put something with it and let the thing go through.
Yes, indeed,
okay.
that is the case. As I said, I believe that 200,000, knowing how building materials go, for the contractors and everything to do the job, I am pretty sure it would cost over that to do the work that, from when you look at the Petit Martinique thing, it would cost over that to do that. But yes, you are correct. They get a start, so they could have made the start and at least start to do the roof and so on, because you must do the roof before you do the insides, and so that facility has to be repainted. You have to put in new doors, you have to put in new windows, tables, chairs, beds, you have to put in new cabinets, everything. You have to redo your electricity, you have to redo your plumbing and everything. It will cost. You know, we like to be straight up here. It definitely will cost over 200,000. Even if it's speaking US, it would cost over that. I'm not making an excuse on them, because they had our money sit down there where they could have already done something. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night. Go right ahead, caller.
Yeah, Sheldon, I'm saying thanks to everyone that came out Saturday gone to make the event a success. It was a wonderful success, although the rain fall off and on. But we want to thank those that came out and make the event a success. And there's things in store for other event coming up. We don't put no time yet, no date yet for that. But we are on a move in St. John Northwest, in reaching out and doing what we have to do to reach out and help people in St. John Northwest. Because whatever we did is to reach out and help the less fortunate in St. John Northwest. So, Brother Sheldon, I'm saying thanks to everyone that came out to make the event such a grand success. Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. All right.
Okay, thank
And folks, let me play this. Yeah.
Has occurred in the telescope area of St. Andrews, sending shock waves throughout the town of Grenville and surrounding communities. The blast, which was described as extremely loud, caused significant damage to several homes and vehicles in the immediate vicinity. According to eyewitnesses, the explosion was heard and felt by many residents, with some reporting that their homes were shaken by the force of the blast. While the exact cause of the explosion is still unknown, authorities are working to determine the source and assess the extent of damage. GBN's Rena Pet Thomas is on the scene.
Just about 4 p.m. this afternoon, the community of Telescope was rocked by an explosion, sending shockwave throughout the quiet community. Now behind me is a quarry operated by gravel and concrete, and now the center of growing concerns and outrage. Residents say the blast was so powerful that it shattered windows and damaged several homes, even destroyed the structures of several houses.
In the kitchen, me and this child, we had just done eating a quarreling with her. We're going to wash the wares. And I go now and I take the tissue thing now, going and wipe down the counter. And as I thing on the counter, I only hear blood out. And the house start to shake. The galvanized start to kick up. And when I watch, I see outside get dark. When I see outside get dark, I don't like to tell nobody. I could have fallen down. I don't know if it's a bad feelings that take me, but I shiver, I shake. And I just hold the dresser and I stand up there, and she come and she grab me and she bawling. And I hook on she neck. And when the thing cool a little bit, when I come out outside, all wrong, so it's darkness. And when I watch, but, well, the whole house is dust. It's dust because I like the thing fall on top of the house. And the window on that side, the window, it pitch out the brick. Then when I watch, I see, well, the door go one side so.
That's your front door?
Yeah, it go one side so. I watch and I see like the veranda, like it want to fall down.
At this time, efforts to speak to representatives from Gravel and Concrete have been unsuccessful. While company personnel are present on ground, they decline to comment on the matter. Officers from the Royal Grenada Police Force are on the scene trying to close off most of the areas from the general public, but for now, residents are left in distress, seeking both accountability and immediate support. I am Rena Perry reporting for GBN News.
All right, folks. So that was the information that a little while ago was put out by the Grenada Broadcasting Network in relation to the situation up there in Telescope. I will not venture to say what I think it is, and yeah, me ain't going down them road there. Me can't put myself in trouble. No, I ain't venturing to go down them road there and see. I think is it caller who was calling while I was playing the video. Give us a call back, please. No, we were not docking your call. We were just playing the video. All right, let me see. Yes, we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott. Good night.
Good night, Camille Teresa Scott. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, no, sir.
All right.
And good night to the Grenadian people, home and abroad. Good night to everybody. Anyhow, Sheldon, I just want to thank you for the call back last night and tell the people I have cocoa and a lot of people come and buy. And I
Lovely.
want to thank you all very much because it's really hard and frustrated that when you leave your house 7 o'clock in the morning and you go in to make a little sale, you will make a $50 that you have rent to pay. And you have some bad mind people. When they come and they cry trouble for you, they ask you for water and they tell you they will come back and pay tomorrow and they don't come back. They're very bad mind. Anyhow, I thank you for the little free advertisement. Good night to Patricia, good night to Matthew, Mr. Watts, good night, and my friend from Boca that sent the two little ointment for me. Thank you very much if you're listening in America. Thank you. Anyhow, Mr. Scott,
Yes, ma'am.
listen to me. Grenadian doesn't like when I speak, you know. He doesn't like when I speak. Because you're crying out for these people. These people know what they was doing, you know? I mean, we had go out to a lot of because all of us is poor people and we're struggling. I am not sitting down in Grenada and taking me debt. If you trust Almighty God, deacon government not helping you all and all you just sit back. All you want me, all you want Sheldon to cry out all your problem. Come out and speak. Come out and speak about the condition you're living in. The condition I live in, I just speak out. Or you want people to speak for you all and all you just sit back. Hey, you have to get up and talk about victimization. Speak out. If the government, those in authority, Kevin, Andrew, and them ain't doing nothing for you, stand up, lady, for man for the right. Or they just sit down there and have people have to be crying no trouble. I don't cry no trouble for none of them because they know what they're doing when they go and vote. All you know are you going through. I going through a hard time. I going through a hard time and don't afraid to speak. If I see Deacon Mitchell, I don't like that man. I don't like that man. I have no apology, Papa God. Will have to punish me. I don't like what they're doing to us in Grenada. Eh? I don't like these people and them. Or you could do me what you want. Or you could do me what you want. I don't break in the law. But that is my democratic right. I don't like you all for what are you doing to people. Because what I'm saying is, under NNP, NDC people used to get help. NDC people used to get work. NDC people used to get that to be board. They used to get some gravel, a little bad mine. A little bad mine. And all you have to stop that. And the same people making noise, so they're going back and vote for them, you know. They're going. Sheldon, you think they're good in this Grenada area? You think they're good in this Grenada area? A bunch of hypocrite people. I don't know secret only for none of them. When I have money, I go in the treasury and I pay for the lot of land. If I have $100 or $50, I give them. You understand? I make sure and I hold me receipt. So they can't mess with me. Or you just sit back and you want Sheldon to bust his brain and begging. Call the radio. Or you have Andre Donald, or you have Sheldon, or you have Shaggy. Call and speak about these stupid and lying people. And stay where all day. Don't pray. Or you sitting back but want to gossip. To gossip while you don't pray to gossip. Call and say, look what you did. But I don't begging for all the people. Trust me. I'm begging for me. Dr. Mitchell, good night. I don't want to vex that on your face. Come out and speak out. I remember when I was a caretaker in the Ministry of Finance, and they do anything I used to talk. That's the reason why you see they break my shop, by the tunnel, I used to speak out. I used to speak out and I don't care. You have to trust God and don't fear to speak. You're a Grenadian. Don't fear to speak when thing is wrong. Let people know they're wrong. The lying, the thieving is a good thing. I can't read and write, so I can't sign no check. I can't write, so I can't forge nothing. So you can't say, Miss Kami, forge that contract or forge check. I can't read and write. So yeah, all the two bad man in Grenada, I don't get what coming to y'all. Are they going to get what's coming to y'all? Have a good night, Grenada. Have a good night, Sheldon.
Yes,
Thanks
my
for the
dear.
advertisement again.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. You
All
have a
right,
good one.
darling.
All right. And folks, remember you can head by Cami. She has what? I tell you, I just use the cocoa, so I know that cocoa is the best cocoa you could find around. Head on out, check Cami. You're going to get the best cocoa, right? Especially if you're visiting. You come back home for the carnival season or so, it's summertime, you decide you're coming home to Grenada, you want to make sure that you get your cocoa to head back home, make sure and check Cammy on the bus terminal. While you're there, don't just buy the cocoa. Make sure you buy a little drink, refresh yourself. She has some nice water. If you want a bear, she has a bear. Whatever you want, she has it right there. All right, so support Miss Cammy. All right, we have a caller online. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. How you doing tonight?
Tito, what's up?
Hey, good night, boss. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, man. Pleasant night to everybody, man. Pleasant night to the whole NMP. Pleasant night to Miss Carmen for this loud speaking. Miss Carmen, Tito love you. And thanks for this vibrant word on Miss Carmen every time. Big up yourself, right? Remember, I check out Miss Carmen, you get nice cocoa, you get nice clothes, right? Everything in St. George's, right? Miss Carmen, I want to say thanks for, for coming out and sharing that.
Every drop costs something. So when you go, you buy a little soft drink, you buy a little water, you buy a little beer and thing. You're helping her pay she rent and handle she business.
Yeah, well, she didn't really know me too, because I called in and you ready boy at that time. I went in St. George, I was on the bus stand and like somebody called out Tito. And she was like, who you? So I now go and thing and I give her like a sail, I buy a bottle of water. She said, you is Tito, you think I said, yeah, she is, but she very vibrant man. So I asked God to give her the health and permit her real strength and real life, man.
Yes, indeed, man. So how are things going in? Wow, Tito, like you're going a bad service area, brother. Tito. Either a call coming on Tito phone or Tito going a bad service area or something.
Hello.
Yeah, it seems as though a call was coming through or something on your phone, man. You went off there for a second.
Yeah, how me is there? Me touch it on the on my phone. I touch the thing so the Wi-Fi cannot go on.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr. Sheldon, I just want to say good night to you and thanks for having you once again. And I want to say thanks to the NNP, the crew. Well, I can't say everybody. I can't say whosoever because we could have other people. But I just want to say thanks for coming out for this nice island. You understand what Miss Kate Lewis and the members of the NNP. We had a real nice couple of parts of island up in Dunfermline by I forget that guy name, but it's in Dunfermline, right? And I love that. I love the support that Miss Kate and the whole crew get, which was Saturday. That island, people really talk about the island and people come out and support the thing. So we having a next island coming up soon. So whenever I get the information, I'll be sharing out, the information to the people. So I just want to say thanks to each and everyone who come out and make that island sail real possible. That was Saturday. So I want to say thanks to each and everyone. And Sheldon, I have a little concern which was today, Sheldon. I just want to share it to the people because I don't live in too far from Telescope. Mr. Sheldon, Mr. Sheldon, I'm 46. I'll be taking 47 on the 9th of August. Either August kind of person. Yeah, no. Mr. Sheldon, since I know I live in it, Mr. Sheldon, that is the worst I ever hear today. Mr. Sheldon, I was in my garage walking there because I painted a car yesterday and I was kind of detailing up this car to get it kind of come out in the garage. And Mr. Sheldon, I did in the garage today. And Mr. Sheldon, I was looking to run down below the cocoa on the other side of the garage. I was looking to run because I was saying to myself, like it look like Iraq or Iran or America maybe send on people down here and it look like World War III maybe start around the world. When I hear this blast today, Mr. Sheldon, this blast today, Mr. Sheldon in my inside my shop about a half an hour after when I cannot relieve myself because I was trembling and shake. My mom, the whole community, when you watch the road in front of me today, because we are staying on top of the hill, you watch it, you could watch across telescope and you're seeing like how all the smoke and everything. And Sheldon, that road was full today with the age. Every people who come out, who ball in, they want help, come and stay with them. You understand? Everybody, that was a real. So when I go inside my shop about maybe about
I'm hoping that at least no one was injured. We heard of many houses damaged and seriously damaged and so, but what we're not hearing is if anybody was damaged or so on like that, injured, and we hope that it remains that way, that nobody was injured or worse.
Well, any damage because like the ambulance was in and out any damage that will be like people house because house fall. So, but anybody like in the blast, like it didn't have nobody like close to so no damage, nothing. And Mr. Sheldon, when I went inside my shop about an hour, half an hour after, Mr. Sheldon, all my goods and from on top of the shelf, all was on the ground, you know. He had a whole work to do after that blast, you know. So, I want to say hats are going on to the age of the people. The age, you see the age of the people who are living in my constituency, like around me and like telescope and know that was real. Because to see what that do to the younger people like me and to the younger folks and how that was real tormenting and real hard to also and know Shaggy what it did to the elderly people. So I pray and I ask. No, Shaggy. sorry, Mr. Sheldon. Sorry, Mr. Sheldon. I just hope that that God, come out and give everybody all the age of people strength so that they could live to see tomorrow, which tomorrow is Wednesday, please God, because I know this kind of effect will go on today, Sheldon. All up to now, there's a lot of people that think very, very, very disturbed. So I just want to pray and ask God, you understand that. Give the age of the people, strength and faith and courage and understanding, right? So to go through that whatsoever happened today. And Mr. Sheldon, I want to say thanks for having me. I want to say thanks to Mr. Olympia. And before I go, I want to say thanks to Mr. Ziggy in Carriacou. I want to say thanks, Ziggy, for coming out and being there and sharing those good words and those good facts, them real facts to us on Facebook and whatsoever. So Mr. Sheldon, I want to say thanks and all the best, and thanks for having me. And Miss Kate Lewis, I love you. And constituency, Tito love you, and Tito will be there for you. And remember, Sheldon, Mr. Sheldon, as Miss Kami say, it's not about, we ain't paying for that. It's like, we're just asking for that free. Because Miss Kami do she thing and she get you. So I just want to say tomorrow, Wednesday, remember every Wednesday you come at Tito. Remember you want to sing a song. Song is free, Remember, food is free. And Mr. Sheldon, I just want to say thanks to each and every one who all time come out every Wednesday because Tito come out on the ground and Tito start to kind of rise. So I want to say thanks to the Almighty God, thanks to Sheldon, thanks to Paradise, thanks to all my supporters, thanks to NMP, thanks to everybody, right? And Mr. Sheldon, good night. All the best.
You have a good one. All right, my brother.
All right, thanks very much.
All right.
I love that man,
Yes, everybody loves me. Except them people them. Yeah, folks, so remember Tito has his karaoke taking place on a Wednesday night. Sheldon does can't go, because Hello, good night. We have a caller online.
Sheldon, don't get fed up with me. No, don't get fed up. Tito, good night.
Sheldon. Yes, dear.
Tito, you can't love Sheldon. No, Sheldon is a man. He like woman.
They coming, I know it was coming.
Watch. Anyhow, I'm making a little joke. Anyhow, me never in Busheju. That Miss Patrice. She have a son that have a fishing boat. Somebody teach his son boat. She just tell me. They take the lady's son boat. They take the boat and they leave the net. The net is scarce. You understand? Miss Patrice in the bay, she son have a boat. They go with the white boat and they leave the net. And that is wrong. And if anybody listening in Busheju and all you know that they take that boat to sell it, bring it back. Bring it back. Because it's not right. That is what the man doing for a living. And he has children to feed.
That's not
Or
right
you
at
must
all,
not do this thing. That is in Busheju, yeah. Yeah? The mother just tell me. So I'm feeling, if all you know who all you sell it for, tell them bring it back. Because the whole family go walk from here to right, wrong, Grenada. It's not right. Good night.
All right, Gabby. Yes, indeed. 1-473-440-7377. You know something? Let me play some. Yeah, let me play some stuff here now. Let me see. Oh, just as I go to play some stuff, let me take this call first. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon Scott.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
All right, you go right ahead, man.
Yeah, I want to go good night, Miss Cammy. I'll be passing by your Friday. I will give you my super tonight, Cammy. Sheldon Scott.
Yes, sir.
So what? You see what going on in the country right now, Sheldon Scott. But things are tough, boy. Real tough for real.
Yes, indeed. You go ahead, man. Go ahead, talk.
I say things very tough. Groceries.
I'm hearing you. So you go ahead and make your points.
I go so I could have $100. I pick up 3 items. Money done already. Oh gosh, I will keep poor people.
That 3 bottle of rum you went and buy her.
Nah, back here, rum. Shaggy, I say,
but everybody calling me Shaggy tonight. What kind of thing is this? Shags, man. Right. People only call me Shaggy tonight. Hey.
But food I can buy, food stuff I can buy, it's expensive, boy. Sugar expensive, everything expensive.
I understand.
I say good night to each and everybody on the team and Pia Tom Lime Friday. I did that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's a good thing you remind me of that. Let me pull it up one time. It's a good thing.
You see?
You remind me of that.
I supporter.
I kinda.
So enjoy the rest of the night. I listen to the program. Go on, Miss Cammy, and enjoy the rest of the night, Miss Cammy.
All right, brother. Thank you. All right. Yes, indeed. And let me just put a little hold there for a short while. Nice. And let me go through these with you all. Yeah, let me just go through these with you all. Right. Let me get rid of this. Nice. Yeah. And we have here taking place on. Oh no, I've got it wrong here. Yeah, I'm just making sure that I have the right thing in the right place, folks. Right? Nice, yeah. Right? Yeah, so let me go back to this now. Good. Nice. So on Saturday, this Saturday, the St. Patrick West Constituency branch of the New National Party, they've got their spicy Grenadian breakfast that's taking place at the Sauters bus terminal, and it's taking place from 6 a.m. So they're going to have on the menu Tanya log, cocoa tea, bush tea, bakes and saltfish, fry fish, cuckoo, bakes and smoke herring, and provision. So that is going to be taking place this Saturday, and it starts from, and if you know the people in the St. Patrick's branch, they could well cook too. Yeah, I used to leave all town and go up and think to get me thing. Nice. So the St. Patrick West Constituency branch of the New National Party, they've got that breakfast. So those of you in St. Patrick and surrounding areas, or you're passing through, make sure on Saturday you head on out to the bus terminus and from 6 a.m. and you can get your cuckoo and your fried fish, or you get cocoa tea with some cuckoo and some provision, and think, yeah, you're getting nice breakfast there. All right? The New National Party After Work Lime is taking place this Friday. Yeah, that's July the 4th. Yeah, the American holiday. Right? So July the 4th from 4 p.m. and taking place at the New National Party headquarters out there in Tempe. Food and drinks on sale. And you could play games. You know, you could go up against the political leader. If you feel you could beat Dr. Mitchell in dominoes, go and try your hand. I tell you, get licks, but go and try your hand. If you feel you could beat Dr. Mitchell or Honorable Emmeline Pierre in dominoes, go and try your hand. You ain't even stand a chance with Skeeter. Don't even try. You're getting relics. So they're going to be starting from 4 p.m. Head on out and make sure you go to that one. Of course, you know, I must remember my little friend Kalani. So, folks, those of you that can help, please do help in that situation. All right? Nice. Beautiful. And also, folks, just to let you all know, let me see if I can quickly pull this one up because we're at 9 o'clock now. So I just wanted to get these out of the way at 9. All right, so let me just play this one first to go.
Grenada, are you ready for Spice Mass 2025? It's time once again as Fit for Life Medical Services, Mitchell's Health and Wellness Pharmacy, Follow Me Fitness, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, presents Fitness Revolution 11. Follow Me, starting on July 7th to the 31st, Monday through to Thursday, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Tantine and Montrouge, St. George. Get ready for 4 weeks of calorie blasting, fat burning, body toning, endurance building fun. All this for just $70 EC. Register now at Fit for Life Medical Services or go to Fed. Call 404-9355 for more info. Follow the energy, follow the hype. Follow me to Fitness Revolution 11.
For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. WeNoise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. WeNoise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact WeNoise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
All right, folks. So, yeah, if you want to get fit, and I think that the same people who were helping out Kelani the last time, they've got the fitness thing continuing. All right, so if you want to get in touch with them, you see the numbers, everything there. All right, folks, but I want to deal with something different right now. And yes, the lines are still open for those of you that would like to call regarding Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I realize the Carriacou, Petit Martinique, people afraid to call. Maybe they're just sulking over what has happened regarding the hurricane and all of that. Yes, so let's see. Let me see if I can find these. Yeah. Folks, just give me one moment while I get something together here quickly. Right, folks, I want you all to let me know if you all remember this statement. Yeah, let me know. Ignore the thing on it. I couldn't find the version without the wording, that particular wording on it. But tell me if you all remember the statement.
I do want to highlight one thing though, that I've seen Jab Jab already being played on the nation rolls. It's a little too early for that, so there's something that we have to talk about. There's carnival season and there's non-carnival season. We're not quite yet. It's just too early to have Jab Jab being played on the roads.
So with all due respect to the Grenada Tourism Authority and all the advertising, I am the biggest seller of Grenada. So when I go to Nigeria, I'm representing Grenada.
Yeah, you're representing yourself. You represent Grenada and all kind of thing. That's why you have the multitude following you when you're going them place and them. All right. So we heard the Prime Minister there. That was earlier last month, I believe, or late month before, where he was saying, and I can't find my files tonight. Then we heard the Prime Minister on the day of his cruise. We heard the same Prime Minister, and we heard him with the following statement. Let me see if we could find it there. Yeah, the day of his cruise, we hear the Prime Minister, man. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Glad to have you on board. But I mean, it's your boat, right?
And remember, this is after he said too early to be playing Jab, eh? So this is after he said that.
This is only local music we play from now till you go back in post. You say Jab must play?
Oh, Jab must play. You were saying that it's too early to play Jab, sir, but anyhow. We're not going to finish that statement, not on my program. I have more class than that. Yeah, we'll go finish that statement on my program. But folks, we heard the Prime Minister there speaking in relation to those things, in relation to Jab Jab, and it's too early to play Jab Jab and all of that. And then we hear him today again when asked a particular question. We hear the Prime Minister again. Let's see if we can hear what he had to say this time.
Announcement recognizing August 1st as a bank holiday to commemorate Emancipation Day. Will there be and will you participate in any of the Jab Jab celebrations taking place around the island on that day?
No, I will not be taking part in any Jab Jab activities.
But you not as the man was just saying take Jab. Jab Jab must play?
On that day. I'm not so sure that Jab Jab activities should be taking place on that day. And I think I've already said that Jab has a time and place. It's generally for carnival season. The 1st of August is Emancipation Holiday. This is not an insignificant event.
So what are you really trying to tell us? Because that is the same man that was on the boat saying Jab must play. This is him this evening, just in case you're wondering, just a few hours ago. This was the Prime Minister on his program. And man watching when we eye and tell us different, because that's the same man that was on the boat just now saying take Jab. Yeah, that's the same man.
Taking very deliberate legislative steps to make sure that we acknowledge the 1st of August as the date when legally it was no longer permissible for one human being to own another human being as private, personal property, especially when historically it was done by white Caucasians enslaving black persons or persons of African descent in Grenada and the British West Indies. So this is not a day to be trifled with or to be taken lightly or to be joked about. This is a day of significant importance to us as a country, significant importance to us as human beings, and from our perspective is the foundation upon which a free Grenada was ultimately built. So we should never take
free Grenada, so we can't play Jab on that day, because you are just saying that you all have put the legislation in place in relation to that day. And the last time the Prime Minister said something along the lines of he doesn't believe that day should be observed in a particular way was October 19th, and we know none of the promoters that were trying to have activities on that day were getting permission to be able to utilize amplified songs. So the cruises that people intended to have and the parties that people intended to have, they had to forget it. We know that that behavior goes back to Independence Day last year as well, when people were stopped from playing amplified music and basically told everybody had to go down in the stadium. I don't know if we in the year 1981 or something, and the revolution dictates to us that everybody go to the stadium. But now, he's basically saying for emancipation, similar behavior in relation to what took place for independence and what took place for the October 19th, that in his belief, and you know when he say in his belief, you know he's going to tell the police, don't give permission for that particular day. Anyway, Jab don't need permission, and you say Jab must play?
No, the idea that some human being is less than another human being and therefore entitled to be treated or viewed as property.
But that's where you're treating us like if we're your property, you want to tell us when we could go and have a fete or when we could have a boat ride and that kind of, it's a holiday. So people decide to utilize the holiday how they want to do it. So if some people decide, me ain't taking part in the emancipation thing, I emancipating myself and showing my freedom by going on a boat cruise, who are you to tell them no? If on the October 19th, people decide, hey, I want to have a backyard jam, I want to have a cruise going out on the same way you have cruise, other people could have cruise, and so, are you going to say to those people that on that day you cannot get permission to utilize amplified music? Because this is what they're doing. I remember folks, the Minister of Finance told us we had to go in church and pray on the October 19th.
Or in law. And so the activities we intend to support on that day are activities that will educate our population about the significance of this holiday, remind persons of their human dignity, and remind us that ultimately we are a free nation. And that
are we a free nation? If we are a free nation, you shouldn't be telling us what to do on that particular day. We should be able to do what we want on that day if we have the freedom to do so. But you are trying to remove our freedom.
Abolition of the right of persons to own other persons as slaves. So I don't want this day to descend into simply a day.
We don't care what you want. This is not about you. I don't want. So you all understand what's happening here. I don't know if we're in North Korea. So I don't want this day to be. That is not your business. People do what they intend to do in a free democratic country. At least we're supposed to be in one. So when you come and saying that I don't want, that says a lot, you know. Just that single phrase says a lot about the individual, and they feel they're just big, they're in charge, and they go do us as they want.
I don't want this day to descend into simply a day of entertainment only. It is a day for solemn reflection, it is a day for education, it's a day for us to think about how we preserve our freedom for the next 1,000+ years to come. If we don't think about those things, we run the risk of behaving in a manner that makes us vulnerable to other persons thinking that they can own us as human beings or own us as property. And so I've given a very long response because I want the caller and the nation to know that this is a very significant day that should be marked and observed with the respect and the dignity it deserves.
So the Prime Minister just choosing days out of the year and basically telling us that we have to do what he wants us to do on them particular day. He just choosing out days and hey, but that day no music and them kind of thing. Because you know that's what happened the last 2 times. So now it seems as though August 1st, Rainbow City, you could forget earlier, and Carriacou, forget Regatta. It didn't seem as those 2 things will be taking place as far as the Prime Minister is concerned if you have that sort of entertainment component of it. Yeah? That's what he's basically saying there. You know. But you know, it was interesting when a caller called him and he made a certain statement. And let me play what that caller said. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, let's hear what the caller said to the Prime Minister.
We have another caller online. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone, including the Prime Minister. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Prime Minister, there are some allegations are going around. And we need to clear you need to clear the air with some of the corruption we are hearing in offices with some of your, first of all, with the burial relief fund, we're hearing that people are getting contracts, monies are put in their accounts, and people, they are taking all the money in their accounts and spend it and not finishing the work. Is that true, sir? Then second of all, we are hearing the allegation with former Senator Lacrette with the NLA corruption deal. I want you to explain some of that for us. If that is true with the NLA manager and his girlfriend. So we are asking if these things are true with the NLA deal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Prime Minister. Have a very pleasant evening.
Thank you so much, Kola.
Well, thank you, Kola. I think my response on the National Lotteries Authority is no. And I think if anyone has evidence or proof to the contrary, then obviously this is something that they could have brought forth a long time ago. I want to make the point. The National Lotteries Authority, like many other statutory bodies, but perhaps lottery more than anything else, is outside of the central treasury, perhaps the next treasury of the state of Grenada, where everybody, from private promoters to Carnival Queen contestants, to sporting clubs, to community clubs, to people who are sick, are constantly asking for assistance in one way, shape, or the other. But the lottery business is a lottery business, and so the lottery itself also has to manage its results. And sometimes when people are told no, or are told that the lottery is unable to fund what they're requesting, they make all kinds of allegations against the board and the management and the staff of lottery, none of which is frankly fair, nor considerate. We also have to appreciate that almost for all statutory bodies in Grenada, the people who serve on these boards, the directors, are doing so virtually free. The stipend that is given to them, the $300 or the $500 per meeting or per month, in many instances is inconsequential and cannot compensate them for the significant time and effort that they put into serving on behalf of the citizens of the country. So when people malign their names and say all kinds of things, that's one of the reasons why oftentimes talented people choose not to get involved in public service, because you have all kinds of foolish people who make all kinds of allegations with no proof. And if they
So, Mr. Prime Minister, I just want to know if you're calling Jenny Simon foolish. I just want to know because she's the main person that's been making the allegations and providing information on the allegations that she's making. So I want to know, Mr. Prime Minister, if you are referring to Ms. Jenny Simon as foolish. That's what I want to know.
Oftentimes, talented people choose not to get involved in public service because you have all kinds of foolish people who make all kinds of allegations with no proof. And if they had the proof, then present the proof. So I think that is what I would say. And then on
Well, create an investigative committee and all the proof in relation to everything will be presented. Just do an investigative committee. If you're not afraid, do the committee.
Hurricane Beryl. I am sure that with any government program, from time to time, you may have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption. There is no systematic corruption in any of these instances.
Mr. Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance said that it have corruption in the program. So that is why the Prime Minister, being a lawyer that he is, utilizes the phrase, as far as I am aware. In other words, he is technically removing himself from the discussion, as in, I don't know about that. That's basically what he's doing. He's trying to take his voice and himself out of that and say, I don't know about that.
And I've said this repeatedly with many other contractors, because in many instances, their ability to manage the money, the ability to have the kind of financial literacy that is required is sometimes not there. Now,
folks, just a note here. The Prime Minister is talking absolute nonsense. If there's anybody who has to be stupid, it's him. The Public Finance Management Act SRO number 33 of 2017, section 33 B and C, clearly states these people ain't supposed to be managing no money because they are not supposed to receive all the money before the project is done. Section B and section C of section 33 of SRO number 33 Public Finance Management Act of 2017 clearly states that when it comes to construction projects, you're not supposed to have that problem because you are not supposed to pay these people up front. But you all know how crooked you all have been and give a pile of people all the money up front, and up to now, house can't build. But anyway, we digress.
In which cases the homes are not going to be rebuilt because we simply don't have the capacity. And I've given these examples when we were having the financial literacy classes. If you give a contractor a fixed price contract, say $75,000 to build or $85,000 to build a Build Back Better house, and he doesn't realize that he cannot pay his workers per day, because if he pays them per day and if they're unproductive or if rain falls and they don't work and they still have to be paid, he will quickly find himself running out of money and unable to build the home, because he ought to have said, if my price is fixed, I then have to give a fixed labor price. I can't pay you per day.
Again, Section 33 of SRO number 33 of 2017 Public Finance Management Act. What you're talking about is not supposed to happen because you're not supposed to pay them all the money up front. Again, the Prime Minister is talking nonsense.
Job as a carpenter, it is $10 for the entire project. What is the job of the electrician? It is $2. What is the job of the plumber? It is $3, and say that is the job, because if you don't and you pay them per day and they tell you $1 per day and they spend 3 months on the site and you pay them that way, then you quickly run out of money and the house is not built. And in many instances, this is what has happened to a lot of the small contractors that we've tried to work with, because everybody in Grenada always talks about, you don't like to support a small man, you don't like to do this, you don't like to do that. The government has gone out of its way to try and support a lot of our smaller contractors. The minister and his team at MIT have even sought to work with Ariza to give some of them the ability so that there could be some financing from Ariza to allow them to even start some of these projects and so on, because the government process sometimes could be a lot slower, because you have to go through procurement, you have to go through contract stages, and it could become challenging. And all of this was coming in the context of everybody who was impacted by Hurricane Beryl wanting the government to be able to respond quickly and nimbly and efficiently to address the challenges. So I'm sure there are instances where contractors may not have fulfilled their obligations, where the supervision should have been better, but I'm satisfied as the Prime Minister.
You all realize the Prime Minister is defending his ministers, he's defending while still chastising the contractors, but he has not apologized to the people who are still in tents tonight, or taking a local lodging by somebody, or living under a step. Still, he has not apologized to them for the wastage that has taken place under his administration in relation to this. Let's hear the rest and see if he at least apologizes. You see, this is why you know if people care about people. He cares about defending the image of his party. He cares about defending the ministers in his party and the hangers-on, lackeys, and multitudes of I'm going to use a word there I shouldn't use on radio, but the multitudes that are behind them, trying to protect them. Have you heard him reach out to the people who are still waiting for a house?
To a large measure, both the Ministry of Housing, both MIT, have done their best to make sure that they can satisfy.
That is the best? No, Mr. Prime Minister, we ain't hear that. No, can't be that you just tell me. MIT and them do your Minister of Finance say different, and we go play him just now.
The contractors may not have fulfilled their obligations, where the supervision should have been better, but I'm satisfied as the Prime Minister of the country that to a large measure, both the Ministry of Housing, both MIT, have done their best to make sure that they can satisfy the needs of the persons.
But that is not what the Minister of Housing and the Minister of Finance say. Better close your eyes and shoot. That is not what the Minister of Housing and the Minister of Finance say.
Were impacted by Hurricane Beryl. And I will say this finally, all right? There are all kinds of people who themselves do nothing more than be social media badge on, spread all kinds of allegations, all kinds of nonsense about people. They don't go out in the sun and help anybody.
Hey, check yourself, because while you was living it up, many of us were out there helping. In fact, I showed some last night when we were building houses and all kind of thing, educating young people, dealing with gang violence and thing. Only last week, we on this program, yes, social media badge on, made sure that we sent much needed supplies to the Princess Alice Hospital. Only last week, we on this program helped up 2 mothers. One who has a child who is severely autistic and a daughter, along with that son. We also helped other people in Carriacou, sending money over to them. So careful, not because we doesn't come and say everything we do in here, mean we ain't doing things. So careful with your words, And that can't go for Jenny either, because Jenny does help a lot of people. From these meager resources that she may have to be able to help people, she does try and help people as much as possible. So don't come with that. If you don't know, you don't know. You're damn fast.
And they don't lift a finger to help anybody in need or anybody in distress. So at the end of the day, we came in on a basis of serving the people. We will continue to do so. And that is the focus of the government, that is the focus of me, and that is the focus of our ministers.
Yeah, and up to now, no apology to the people, because he doesn't care about them. He does not care about those people, so you wouldn't get an apology out of him in relation to the folks who are there right now and they're going through what they're going through. Yeah. Callers, hold on. I'm not gonna cut right now and think, no, y'all have to hold on there a while, man. Yeah, right now, playing clips. Right, yeah, going into clipology right now. Right, yeah, no, this one we want to go into here. Nice. Right, no, we be playing thing. Right, let me hear what the Prime Minister had to say.
I've done some interviews on how many houses that we have actually put out in the last year since burial. And I must say that things have gone apace. A number of persons would have gotten a new house. In some cases, their house repairs and so on. There are 1 or 2 houses that were started and they are yet to be completed. Some of them have issues, I would tell you, because I've heard 1 or 2 cases yesterday when I was in the field that the contractor started the house and he disappeared.
Why is that happening, sir?
I don't really know, but I mean, I believe that the persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly and so on.
Isn't the people issuing the contract the MITS and the ministry? Are they not the ones issuing the contracts to those people? The Prime Minister say MIT doing if that is the best job, fire all of them. Everybody. Tut mun bagay. All man had to go.
I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Where a guy got money and so on, he put it in an account and so on, and every now and again he goes and takes $200 from it and so on. And it doesn't appear on the person's side to be able to continue the project. So yes, we have 1 or 2 houses.
So we have a management problem then to push that.
Yes, there might be that case this one. But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do with it and so on, or use it for other purposes and so on. We would have the audit department audit those things, and would have the necessary.
Again, the people were not supposed to get that money and not do what they had to do. Public Finance Management Act, SRO number 33 of 2017, section 33B and C.
That you can account or you account for the monies that you were given. I know there are problems where, for example, somebody might tell you, well, this is the land and so on, and when I say we, the ministry took it as though that's a gospel, and they went and started building that house, and then realized that there was somebody coming and challenge the building on my land. Again, we have to be more structured, put things in place to make sure that we can verify ownership of property before we get into building those things. So yes, there might be some learning situation in the past that we have to take into consideration, where people build on people's land that was not authorized. And so we
again, that is a failure of either the Ministry of Housing, because the Ministry of Housing and Lands has record of who own every single inch of land within the state of Grenada, Carriacou, the state of Grenada, inclusive of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The Ministry of Housing, yes, Gloria Ministry, has records of every inch of land in Grenada and who are the owners of that land. So if they go and build a house on land that doesn't belong to the person they're building it on, it shows that that ministry is not doing its job and they are incompetent.
That all of these things are corrected. It may not be.
Oh, and by the way, the Minister of Finance is saying that he should be chastising his own ministry because his ministry also has records of every single piece of land in Grenada and who owns it. How else do you think they tax you? Yeah? So they have records in the Ministry of Lands and they also have records in the Ministry of Finance because they send your notices to you in relation to lands that you own. So they have the records. There is no reason between the Ministry of Finance that's making the payments to these people to build house on land that is not theirs and making illegal payments to them. Outside of that, the Ministry of Housing and Lands has a listing of every inch of land in Grenada. So what the minister is saying there is stupidness.
Mismanagement. It may matter of people not being up upfront with the information they gave the ministry.
But isn't there an individual within the constituency that is responsible for offering the contracts to the different, maybe it's someone who's going to be building a house and so forth?
Right. So
isn't someone responsible?
The housing that were built in recent times in the ministries and so on were built under the Ministry of Housing.
Yeah.
That's social development and community development as well. We had MIT involved in some of the Build Back Better homes and so on, and the special projects and so on. So yes, they would have had people on board to basically review whatever comes in terms of evaluation of the project itself, and they would have basically signed a contract with the particular individual and so on. But again, the monitoring and the follow-up and everything, I think we probably would say that there is need for more vigilance in that area and so on, because a man just cannot start a project and disappear in thin air.
And you say there are multiple situations where that has been occurring?
Well, we have one or two. I'm not saying that.
You need to go and tell the Prime Minister that, because from how he talking, seems like he don't know.
We do not have, because
When only meet in cabinet before, you have all your NDC meeting. Try and have a direct meeting with the Prime Minister now.
Even in my constituency, there are about 4 houses in an area that is still ongoing and not completed. So I don't know whether or not it was because of that particular reason, or because a guy has stretched himself so much that he cannot continue doing what he says he has to. Because there are people, for example, who may have a normal contract building somebody's house and so on. They take our house and so on, and yet they cannot service the boat property in an efficient manner and so on. And so we have to say, well, okay, he evaluated himself.
Yes.
But it's not that. He has not received the resources to build the house. He just has not managed the resources as he should. You cannot be paying a man, for example, to a job. You can do it.
Yeah, basically come with the same excuse the Prime Minister using. The bottom line is that you should not be paying the man in the first place. You should not be paying the man in the first place for that to happen. And remember, the Minister of Housing said that they have substandard houses that were built.
That came out clearly after the burial response.
Yeah.
We were looking for contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next disaster. Into contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster, next into contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we hire people, they say they could bill, and when you see what they bill, is a disaster. Next.
It's now we saying it is your own ministers who you sit in cabinet with, along with the members of your NDC executive illegally. So it is the same members of your cabinet that are saying it, Mr. Prime Minister. It is not us, the so-called foolish people who don't lift a finger to help anybody. Like you just take a finger and help people and all kind of thing. Yeah? Take a finger and shoot. Anyway, yes, folks, let's reopen the phone lines. I had the phone lines quiet while I was playing the clips. Yes, indeed. So, folks, if you want to call, you can call now 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And to all the folks out there in Carriacou, because I hear some people doubting that this is true. Is some people doubting that this thing is true? No, man, all you can't be serious with all yourself. All you can't be doubting that this thing is true. We'll play it just now. Let me get to the phone line here. Right. Hello, good night.
Brother Sheldon.
Hey, what's up?
But you okay, man? I mean, I make my Lisa thing. I see will help you out tonight.
Yeah, go through help out, man.
Like co-host, but you're good, man.
Yeah, go ahead. No, listen. By the grace of God, I'm still up here. And I end the program twice already while I'm doing it.
But that's what I find. But anyways,
go ahead.
The last statement, the last clip you play, right? The last clip you play, the last 2 clips. I'm wondering how our Prime Minister would respond to that. Aren't they in the same
He did
the
respond
same cabinet
today, and he gave the impression that he doesn't know what they're talking about.
But then he's misleading us.
Of course he's misleading us. He's bloody well lying.
The Prime Minister is misleading us. I wonder how he's going to deal with all the promises which he had made, right, to the people of Grenada before he got into office and after he got into office. Right? Quickly. He said that not one person would be victimized. Right? You would give everybody equal. You would take care of the people of Grenada. Right? he said that before he make any decisions, he is going to consult with the people. Right? I remember he said that to the constituents of St. David's in a meeting. Right? He also said to the workers, the people of Carriacou, Matnik, Carriacou, and Grenada, that they would address a lot of the issues of the housing and lands are two of those that they made mention of. What did they do after those promises? Right? What they did, brother, they sent home the workers in Carriacou, some of the workers. They sent home the faith-based workers, right? They removed the monies from the poor and vulnerable people across Grenada, the state of Grenada. They victimized the police officers, the persons who received the ranks, just before the election, right? They stripped them, right? They dismantled the FIU, the legitimate FIU that operates under the supervision and auspices of the Royal Grenada Police Force. They got rid of that. Yes? They start targeting people like myself and Miss Rhonda John, who used to be supervising the wardens in St. David's. They send us home between 3 to 4 months of their coming into office. The devotion was cut right down to the ground. The entire healthcare situation in Grenada became a crisis. Hospital, no oxygen, no gas, no, just name it, medicine at the general health. And still Cormac can lie for us and said that nothing so. People that like to make trouble like you all and the different programs that is spreading the lies. When the minister himself said what he said with reference to that. Now listen, the last thing, I don't want to be too long, the last thing is that what I've heard is that there is a particular young, intelligent, viable worker in one of the ministries. You know what these people did? They took that worker from the legitimate operation that they conduct on a daily basis, right? Based on the qualification of the worker. Took that work from the worker, give it to somebody else, right? Then you know what happened after that? They promised that worker would be transferred to another ministry. That never happened. They returned the worker back where the worker used to be, doing nothing on a daily basis. That is victimization. I dare them to challenge me on that. That's what they did, right? The Procurement Act, the march that they pulled that aside and they make their own decision of $100,000, where the former administration just gave on a $15,000 basis in order to minimize corruption. And accountability. Listen to me. Grenadians, these people are taking us for a ride. And some of us pastors and deacons and laymen and whoever religious leaders are just taking this nonsense from these people. It's time for you to get up. Why? You see, we tell people out there, oh, that you're sinners and you're going to hell and you whatever. Shout it against them and tell them that God said that if you victimize the poor, a course going to take you. And that is the reason why you see they are not successful. They are not and they would never be successful, not until they turn away from the wicked ways and start to brace themselves. Anyway, I want to say good night to Shari and Rico in Texas, and there are many others listening to us all over the globe. Rico, yes, that old soul there. Rico. So, all right. So you take care, bro. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Pastor. Yes, indeed, folks. We, and people asking if these people in the same cabin. I've been making a mistake here. I've been saying SRO number 33 of 2017. It's SRO number 33 of 2015. Yeah? SRO number 33 of 2015 and not 2017. That's what it does do when you're taking things directly off of your head. Something else I was reading with 2015, Yeah. So, right, nice. Let's go to section 33 here. Yeah, just to let you all know, this is the Public Finance Management Regulations, SRO, number 33, 2015, right? So let's go down the road here. Right, we go into section 33, man. Yeah, we taking a ride. We're going down the road. Yeah, because they can't say that we lie because we are quoting directly from the document. So they cannot say that we are lying. Yeah? So section 33 deals with certification of payment for construction, goods or services, and other purposes. No payment shall be made out of the consolidated fund, a deposit, or a special fund unless in addition to a payment instruction and any other certification required under these regulations, an accountable officer certifies. Yeah, and we ain't going into A, but we're going into B, that the construction has been done. Let me make it big for them that can't see in the back of the class. That the construction has been done. Yeah? The goods supplied, in other words, if it's materials and so, the goods supplied or the services rendered. In other words, if it is like a electrician or a plumber or so on, that they've done the work has been done and is okayed. As the case may be, under the price charges according to the contract, or if not specified by the contract, is reasonable. And where pursuant to the contract, a payment is to be made before the completion of the construction, the delivery of the goods or the rendering of the service, as the case may be, that the payment is according to the contract. So they are supposed to make sure. MIT did not make sure. Ministry of Housing did not make sure that what had to be done was done. They did not make sure. And that is the problem. Yeah? That is the situation that our beloved country has found ourselves in when it comes to this particular issue. So when the Prime Minister is speaking, he ought to know that the payments ought not to be made unless the job is done and certified. So who is the accounting officer? We want to know who is the accountable officer. Or did the accountant general give the okay for this to happen? Or who is the accounting officer that was supposed to have dealt with this particular issue again? Let's listen to the Prime Minister once more. Let's go to the, where's the Prime Minister? No, don't run and hide. You have to stay around. You can't go. No, we ain't telling you could go yet. No, you can't go yet. You have to stay here. Nice? Right. Let's go back and listen to the Prime Minister once again. Yeah?
And welcome.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone, including the Prime Minister. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Prime Minister, there are some allegations are going around. And we need to clear you need to clear the air with some of the corruption we are hearing in offices with some of your, first of all, with the burial relief fund, we're hearing that people are getting contracts, monies are put in their accounts, and people, they are taking all the money in their accounts and spend it and not finishing the work. Is that true, sir? Then second of all, we are hearing the allegation with former Senator Lacrette with the NLA corruption deal. I want you to explain some of that for us. If that is true with the NLA manager and his girlfriend.
What the host grinning so far? Are you afraid them question? No, answer the question, man.
So we are asking if these things are true with the NLA deal. Thank you so much.
Mr. Prime Minister, don't watch to decide to get the okay of somebody as if you should answer and you hold on to the chair. Answer the questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prime Minister. Have a very pleasant evening.
Thank you so much, caller.
Well, thank you, caller. I think my response on the National Lotteries Authority is no. And I think if anyone has evidence or proof to the contrary, then obviously this is something that they could have brought forth a long time ago. I want to make the point. The National Lotteries Authority, like many other statutory bodies, but perhaps lottery more than anything else, is outside of the central treasury, perhaps the next treasury of the state of Grenada, where everybody, from private promoters to Carnival Queen contestants, to sporting clubs, to community clubs, to people who are sick, are constantly asking for assistance in one way, shape, or the other. But a lottery business is a lottery business, and so the lottery itself also has to manage its reserves. And sometimes when people are told no, or are told that the lottery is unable to fund what they're requesting, they make all kinds of allegations against the board and the management and the staff of lottery, none of which is frankly fair, nor considerate. We also have to appreciate that almost all statutory bodies in Grenada, the people who serve on these boards, the directors, are doing so virtually free. The stipend that is given to them, the $300 or the $500 per meeting or per month, in many instances is inconsequential and cannot compensate them for the significant time and effort that they put into serving on behalf of the citizens of the country. So when people malign their names and say all kinds of things, that's one of the reasons why oftentimes talented people choose not to get involved in public service, because you have all kinds of foolish people who make all kinds of allegations.
Oh, like what allegation? Like a Polish man gave the New National Party a pile of money and who account it in? You mean allegations like that? So intelligent people, good people don't want to come in politics because of allegations like that? No, tell us, is it allegations like who have money on their account from that Polish man and they better come with it and all kind of thing? Is it allegations of who was running company and getting money from Grenada and all kind of thing? All them, that's what you're calling like foolish allegations and them kind of thing, foolish people? We wondering because we kind of, you're kind of putting your own foot down in your own throat right now and your kneecap is about to hit your esophagus. But anyway, go ahead.
If they had the proof, then present the proof. So I think that is what...
Well, we were still waiting on the cabinet conclusion since 2022. We're now in 2025. And can you kindly present the cabinet conclusion which you referred to in November of 2022 when you made certain allegations against the New National Party? So when you're talking about proof, check yourself first.
The second issue with Hurricane Beryl, I am sure that with any government program from time to time you may have mistakes or you may have issues that may need addressing. But as far as I'm aware, there is no widespread corruption.
There's no widespread corruption as far as he's aware. So he's leaving the door open earlier. He leave the door open. He has left the door open. All right, nice.
In any of these instances, there are challenges, and I've said this repeatedly, with many of the contractors, because in many instances their ability to manage the money, the ability to have the kind of financial literacy that is required is sometimes not there. Now, you could say you're not dealing with them, in which cases the homes are not going to be rebuilt because we simply don't have the capacity. And I've given these examples when we were having the financial literacy classes. If you give a contractor a fixed price contract, say $75,000 to build or $85,000 to build a Build Back Better house, and he doesn't realize that he cannot pay his workers per day, because if he pays them per day and if they're unproductive or if rain falls and they don't work and they still have to be paid, he will quickly find himself running out of money and unable to build the home, because he ought to have said, if my price is fixed, I then have to give a fixed labor price. I can't pay you per day. You then have to tell me what is the job as a carpenter. It is $10 for the entire project. What is the job of the electrician? It is $2. What is the job of the plumber? It is $3, and say that is the job. Because if you don't and you pay them per day and they tell you $1 per day and they spend 3 months on the site and you pay them that way, then you quickly run out of money and the house is not built. And in many instances, this is what has happened to a lot of the small contractors that we've tried to work with, because everybody in Grenada always talks about you don't like to support a small man, you don't like to do this, you don't like to do that. The government has gone out of its way to try and support a lot of our smaller contractors. The minister and his team at MIT have even sought to work with Ariza to give some of them the ability so that there could be some financing from Ariza to allow them to even start some of these projects and so on, because the government process sometimes could be a lot slower because you have to go through procurement, you have to go through contract stages, and it could become challenging. And all of this was coming in the context of everybody who was impacted by Hurricane Beryl wanting the government to be able to respond quickly and nimbly and efficiently to address the challenges. So I'm sure there are instances where contractors may not have fulfilled their obligations, where the supervision should have been better, but I'm satisfied as the Prime Minister of the country that to a large measure, both the Ministry of Housing, both MIT, have done their best to make sure that they could.
That is not what the ministers were saying, but anyhow.
Satisfy the needs of the persons who were impacted by Hurricane Beryl. And I will say this finally, all right? There are all kinds of people who themselves do nothing more than be social media badge on, spread all kinds of allegations, all kinds of nonsense about people. They don't go out in the sun and help anybody. They don't go out in the rain and help anybody. And they don't lift a finger to help anybody in need or anybody in distress. So at the end of the day, we came in on a basis of serving the people. We will continue to do so. And that is the focus of the government, that is the focus of me, and that is the focus of our ministers.
Okay. All right, folks, we have just roughly about 6 minutes remaining on tonight's program. There is an issue I should have dealt with tonight, but I won't, obviously this late, I won't bring that issue up. So it's going to be the main issue for tomorrow night. But we had to basically hear, because remember, today marks 1 year since many people lost their homes and their livelihood. Some people lost their lives. Yeah? I remember going up to Carriacou and having to contact the undertakers on behalf of a family who were trying to find a relative that they heard had died. And I had to contact the undertakers to find out, being up in Carriacou at that point in time and having to call them back and give them the news that yes, your relative has died and was buried quickly. Because of course there's no refrigeration and all of that. So they had to do what they had to do quickly and so on. So I had to call the family and tell them and all of that. So there were a lot of things that took place on the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And I went up to Petit Martinique that same day. We went up to Petit Martinique as well. Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was there. Honorable Emlyn Pierre was out of state. So a team of us went up and we went both to Carriacou and Petit Martinique and interacted. We didn't come with we hands swinging. We came with food stuff and so on and other stuff for the programs that the New National Party was running at that point of time in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Yeah? And then our youth arm went out to areas. They went to Carriacou to try and help cleaning up. They went to St. Patrick and helping cleaning up and so on. The youth arm of the New National Party. So when people talking about who never go and help and all kind of thing, Dr. Mitchell was dragging bag a potato and all kind of thing, bringing down for people to go and cook in Carriacou to ensure that people could get a meal and different things like that. So when they tried to give the impression that nobody wasn't doing nothing and them is, up to now, you have not heard the Prime Minister speak to what the folks in Carriacou and Petit Martinique and St. Patrick and other parts of Grenada who were affected by the hurricane, what they are going through, what they have gone through, and what they continue to go through. He has not addressed them. He just tried to protect his political party and protect his friends, because that's what he's concerned about. He's not concerned about what the average Grenadian is going through, what they have had to endure for the past 365 days. Doesn't care about that. $118 million. Poof. And they say that is joke. But at least if you're spending the 118 million, you should have at least looked for the most vulnerable. I know, I'm not asking you, I know of situations where there are young ladies who have to go through torment in their life, living with individuals simply because they need a place to stay. They have no house, their house gone. And they have to stay with individuals who they otherwise would not have stayed with, and are going through some serious, you know, as a lady, young lady, especially if you're a bit good looking, and you go and you have to stay with a man who's not really your man, but you have to go and stay with that man to get a lodging, especially if you've got kids, and you have to go and go through certain things. And they're not looking at these people and saying, well, let us try and help that person to get them out of that situation. They're looking for their friends. They're looking for their family members. You're hearing this family member get a house and that family member get a house. You're hearing down to people who are not Grenadian get a house and all. You're hearing all of these stories of what is actually taking place in Carriacou and in Petit Martinique, which up to today, 1 year later, has not had a single house handed over. What is the reason for that? Why do people at Petit Martinique do that so bad that they can't even get a house handed over to them? Yeah? This is the situation that exists, and we continue to pray for the people of Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and everyone in Grenada and the Grenadian diaspora. We continue to pray for each and every one of you. We pray that we never have to go through anything like this again, but we know in all odds, could be 100 years, 200 years from now, we will be facing something again. We know that. It would happen. We live in the Caribbean, we in Hurricane Alley. It will happen again. But that we pray that we are ready. More ready. That our Prime Minister, who is supposed to convene the NADMA meeting, doesn't fly out and go in Barbados to watch cricket together with Colin Bishop, the same individual who is now suspended from the CBI program. Try and tell me you didn't go, Mr. Deacon Mitchell, that Mr. Colin Bishop was not on the plane with you. The same guy with Reef Enterprises or whatever. When you left Grenada with a Category 4 going to 5 hurricane heading towards our country, that you found it necessary to fly over to Barbados to go and watch cricket with the same Mr. Colin Bishop, who is now people looking for him. Like what we hear, people looking for him. He has been suspended by the Grenada CBI program and being investigated. But when the lives of the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique were in danger, you jumped private plane with him to go and lime over in Barbados. And then when you came back, and the question was asked of you, people are airing concerns in relation to your absence from the country at an important time like that. Your words were, I have nothing to say to them. Because you don't care about the people. You don't care what they think. You don't care how they react. You don't care what they're going through. All you care about is how you look. And the real you can't put forward. That's why you have to wear white and thing, because you want people to think you're scary. That's why you have to try to modulate your voice like Maurice Bishop. Because you, Mr. Prime Minister, cannot allow the Grenadian people to see the real you. You're afraid that the real you would one day come out and the Grenadian people will get to know you for who and what you are. You're deathly afraid of that, you and your entire cabinet. That's why you have to dress the way you dress and carry yourself the way you carry yourself. You have to take on the persona of others who Grenadians hold in high regards, hopeful that they would hold you in the same high regard when you have done absolutely nothing to earn the high regard of the Grenadian people. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been, I didn't even think I could have made the 2 hours. It's been wonderful being here with you. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. One who's speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm out of here. Love each and every one of you. Remember to check Cammy for the cocoa balls. All right.